these kids are really interested in the simulation hypothesis, in this question, this grand question: are we living in a simulation? It's very interesting to them. And you know what? There's some links in the article, and then you see kids. They're, they're I don't know, somewhere between 12 and 17, something like that. 12 and 16, maybe something like that, speaking about their fascination and their how persuaded they are that we live in a simulation. And the first thing that got me about this was, first of all, that um, it's um, um, it's refreshing. It's so refreshing. I thought, I thought
It's so
that
refreshing to know that we're just ones and zeros living inside of a
no,
total.
it's refreshing to
Okay.
see.
Okay. I
It's
thought you meant it was
refreshing to
refreshing.
see that the kids of today are asking meaningful questions about their existence, and they're interested
Nice.
in
There you go.
alternative explanations to what this life is really about. It's beautiful to me. It's refreshing, as I said, to see that kids are, they're debating in a serious way, bringing up serious questions about the nature of existence, and our perception of reality, and the purpose of this existence. And they're interested in something like the simulation hypothesis, and that was very cool to see. And I think that just kind of shows that there's hope, in a sense. Now, it shows that there is a new desire, a new layer of desire, a new level of desire that is brewing in those kids. That the younger generation is, maybe they're not that hyped about going out there into the world and making it like our parents did, and owning a business, and making a lot of money, and being, maybe that's not what they're about, but they are more inclined
Well,
towards
that's good for them
meaning and
because those things aren't
purpose.
going to
Yeah,
be. Those things aren't going to. Those things are kind of crumbling.
yeah,
The economic system, the social system, the monetary system, the education system, the political system. These things are all rotting. So it's good news that the kids aren't putting their hopes in these things.
and it's even better news if they're actually looking for not just for an alternative kind of existence, an alternative kind of purpose and meaning to life. So it's not just that they're not interested in the old plan of how to live a life on this earth, but they are potentially also interested in what else may be there beyond the horizon of what we currently know. What else can life take us to? Is there something deeper, more profound, beyond this material experience? And I think what you see through their interest in this simulation hypothesis is a little bit of that.
There's a really great TED talk about the invention of the washing machine, the clothes washer, the machine that washes the clothes.
Didn't
This
watch this
guy,
one.
unbelievable statistician, I
What?
think he
What?
is
Tell me about
Hans.
it.
Hans something. Yeah. Wow. What a this guy looks at big sets of numbers and describes how humanity develops. It's beautiful. But he
Mm,
describes how the washing machine is like one of the most important inventions for humanity. And
right.
he says that women spent, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of time washing the clothes, fetching the water and washing the clothes. And in places where they got the washing machine finally, literacy goes up. And
Right.
then they have time to be with the kids and all these other things. Um, so a simple invention like you spent, I don't know, 30% of your week fetching water and washing clothes, or now all of a sudden all of that time becomes available to you again. If you don't need to do that, if you were out hunting, right? You need all of that extra time. Now you get all of that time back in your life. So
Hmm.
as we move into this modern culture, like I don't know how many people here do this and outside of the US if it's common, but like ordering your groceries, even you can order your groceries to come to your house. You don't have to go out. It's a couple hours of your time. Just more and more we're getting time back. So what are we going to do with all of this time? And now we're able to think about other things. Now we're able to engage in other things. And our young kids are asking about the nature of reality. That's phenomenal.
What's cool about the simulation hypothesis is that there's a lot of really meaningful questions that you have to ask as soon as you bring up the idea that we're living in some simulation. You have to ask together with it, so what's the purpose of the simulation? Who created the simulation? Does a simulation necessitate a higher level of being that created the simulation? It has to be smarter than the simulation that it created. There are what is it that we're actually seeing, and what actually are we if we are living in a simulation? There's all those questions that are, they're like sitting dormant in all of humanity for thousands of years. Since the moment a human being began to think, we've had these questions about the meaning and purpose of life. It's not for no reason that thousands of years ago, the Greek philosophers asked all these questions about the meaning and purpose of life, and they were mostly asking and theorizing and asking and theorizing. But I'm saying that it's like the question of who are we, what are we doing here, what is our purpose, what is our meaning. It keeps coming back to humanity in different forms, and maybe now with this generation that is completely living a less material and more digital kind of life, a life where the future of the current world doesn't seem appealing to them. Maybe that's where that kind of signifies where humanity is finally going to actually seriously deal with these questions.